This next poem is called The Softness of Sisters, and I have to be a little bit careful because my sister is in the audience here. And this is a moment when I inflicted an injury on her as a child. Moments of forbidden, gleeful bouncing on their bed until sharp pram wheels spoke straight through my baby sister's soft head. In shock, I tried to unskewer her. Shush cries become smothering silencer. Yet who would have thought the young child to have so much blood in her? I unravel half a toilet roll to staunch the flow. Don't know about anterior fontanelle, only think of the trouble I'm in. Make a clumsy 6-year-old stab at scrubbing stained carpet to save my skin, not hers. Hush now, don't tell, it's not that bad. We sometimes laugh now about the deep scar and the row of stitches she should have had. We are all delving deep into childhood memory for these poems, and I actually didn't talk for the first few years. I sort of waited until I could do complete sentences, so I think that worried my parents somewhat. I'm here, we each cry at birth, declaring our arrival, adding new harmony to human chorus. Soon babbling sounds play on the tongue, dada, long before the lips, mama. Words form. I said nothing at all until I was 4 years, prompting distress, testing for deafness, results inconclusive, a quiet child, until a day when sentences tumbled from my mouth fully formed, all leapt to respond to my every command. Put it over there now, get out of my way. What power words had. But a father's rage at a world that betrayed him soon hushed me. A quieted child, I wore the scold in silent cacophony and began to save my words in order to make them count. I'm here. I'm going to use another prop now. This was one of my favourite books growing up, The Wind in the Willows, and this particular edition with the E.H. Shepard illustrations. And it was a book that I return to and still return to whenever I'm sad. And this poem is called Whimsy, which relates to the little china Wade Whimsy figures that I used to collect when I was little. In party bags, along with Curly Whirly, a coveted prize was a boxed Wade Whimsy. I had the cat, circus bear, chimpanzee. It seemed adulty to own ornaments. Things for the sake of things, just to be. My favourite was Toad. I knew him, see, sketched in boats, the open road, canary cart. I saw, of course, how escapade and escape was meant as a warning of how not to be. I also sensed, deep down, I was truly moly. But still I liked Toad's zest, joie de vivre, bonhomie, everything loud, bright, showy. I took him from the box, placed him on my pillow, dreamed. Even under lock and key, he seemed free to me. I'm very interested in the way that children look at the world and how that's very different from an adult view. And that relates to things like how we know the difference between boys and girls as a child. I had a very clear answer about that. This is called The Difference Between Boys and Girls. I didn't have brothers, I should say. I'm only 5 when I'm asked if I know the difference between boys and girls. I do, of course. Girls wear tights. Wretched things, all encasing, wrinkled, twisted up, wrong way round heels, something lumpy but unreachable near the toes. Or falling down, sweaty, stretchy, saggy crotch drop. If only the tyranny of tights were the worst of it. Later, the teenage slagginess of a ladder lacing up the thigh, a hole in your hosiery. But when you worked at it until you felt the satisfying rip of destruction and release. And I will finish off with another poem that looks at the world through a child's eyes. I actually grew up in a pub, so my parents ran a pub and had a kitchen where everything seemed outsized because everything was bought at cash and carry, and it was massive. And it was also a forbidden place because it was really dangerous. You know, the customers got the nice food from the pub kitchen. We weren't allowed to touch it. So this is called A Child Tiptoes into a Restaurant Kitchen. Vats of lasagna bubble over in ovens fit for Gretel's witch. Shepherds are captured in pies, screaming prisoners of casserole dishes. Scampi sizzles untouchable in lethal, Midas-cursed deep-fat fryers. Tins of stock powder stand stacked to the girth and height of Rapunzel's tower. Mountains of chips form of potatoes pulled from Brother Lustig's sack. Near a hanging carcass, thick cheese mattresses are piled for the princess and pea. Jack's giant resides here, but there is no beanstalk of escape. Only the apple is a normal size. But who would dare to bite?